we're a third generation company. My grandfather was a collector, my dad was a collector, and I turned our family passion into a business. And basically we deal in all the maisons before they were brands. And if you teach luxury, you know the difference between a maison and a brand. A maison would just make its clients happy. A brand has to make his investors happy. So here we have, we've made a selection after a serious research on the sign of the times of Hermes, from some unique jewels from the 30s. This is a command spécial, absolutely incredible. And we managed to find its original. La pubblicità bianca. Tira via dal. See, we managed to find the original advertisement. I'm sure you appreciate this kind of detail. So we research, select, and restore, and sometimes customize, like, for example, these 1930s, we used to call them vanity boxes, you know, with all the bottles, and often you find them with missing bottles, and so we give them a second chance, and they become some beautiful jewelry boxes, all of course, all the inside has been restored, and this, for example, is a vintage scarf from the same epoch. So pieces that, despite the quality with which they were made, you sort of get a second. Check this one out. This is le kit d'écriture. C'est amusant. It's really fun. With the seal and also this is a rare series of. And this one is a little bit more shocking. Bam. Carpe diem. Of course, there's a lot of study and research behind this, because you cannot just put things together without we have a few young students, former young students of luxury schools in Milan that have joined us in our team. Meanwhile, I'll show you a crazy project on this 1950s, I would say 60s Hermes suitcase that we turned into a so-called boudoir. Wait a second. With all the little details and, you know, all the girl stuff. Actually, these parts here are, let's say we thought of them to put loudspeakers, because maybe you would like to listen to your music while you get ready for the party. And of course, this is all Italian artisan. It's all in leather. All the details are really, really taken care of. It's more of a marketing investment than you can imagine what kind of investment goes behind this, but it's really to give something special to our clients. Our core business are vintage watches, but here we came with our Hermes. This one's also nice. This, for example, we kept it as is, because the condition is incredible. Nothing's missing. Vermeil silver, ivory, gold, with the monogram of the family. No problem. No, it's a killer piece. Instead, we gave a new life to this uber rare Hermes piece in Baran. This is honestly killer. And you see, and this is for when you have your jewels for the weekend. You just take away this box. As I say, research, select, and restore the most beautiful things that come from the past. What do the houses feel about it? You know, as long as you celebrate them and you don't. I've had the pleasure of receiving visits from Maison Vuitton, like the high management, and we do some incredible jobs on the Louis Vuitton trunks. And they're like, guys, they're cool, they're amazing. Some even send us clients. The Louis Vuitton store in Milan was like, you want something special, go visit that guy. Times we meet with the people from Hermes or Vuitton at the auctions, and you know, we bid one against each other. All these pieces today are part of a very concrete market, so
yeah, because I see
they have a value.
Well, the more that these houses are opening up retail stores around the world, the more they are chasing after their own vintage items.
It's not just because to decorate the retail stores. It's that they've discovered that their heritage is their main asset,
yeah,
basically. Then add to that they can decorate with their assets. It's a win-win thing.
And I guess it's to relearn their codes as well, and the way that they were making things in the past.
Have you been to the Patek Philippe Museum in Geneva?
No, I haven't. So.
That will give you a lot of answers to what you were stating before.
But in terms of watchmaking, it's probably one of the most difficult of the whole lot. And you said the core asset, the core know-how of your house has been antique watches.
Vintage watches.
Vintage watches.
And collectible watches, yes.
Yeah. And I guess the know-how for that and the knowledge that you need to really know which is original, which are original, if all the pieces are still original. So you've done that since you were a kid. You grew up because as you said, your family's always been in this.
My father was a banker, and then a jewelry collector, and then a jewelry dealer. And the passage during the 80s between jewelry and watches, they were one only sort of category. And then I took over the watches, and during the years I developed this new concept of store, which is more of a club. My friend Juju flies to Paris to visit the store. You know, have a nice drink, look at the new watches, meet other collectors. I have people flying all over the world, just experience a certain.
And
the knowledge, yes, you acquire the knowledge in years and years. And the more you know, and the more you realize you don't know anything.
And what would be the most beautiful piece you've come across in terms of timepieces that you think?
Most expensive or more beautiful?
Well, the one that stood out most in your mind that you thought this is absolutely the greatest work of art.
To have in my hands watches worth millions and watches that were worth a few thousands, but could stand the comparison with the big ones.
And do you have a ranking in your mind of which house has always produced the very best? Would it be Patek Philippe or Breguet or?
Ranking. Patek. Vacheron, Audemars Piguet, Cartier, and Rolex. These are the big five, even though Rolex is the most sold, even in the collector's world. But the quality of Patek Philippe is by far. It's still the only family-owned company, so it's.
What do you think about the young?
See something? That tattoo? Can you see what it is?
Is it a Patek Philippe? I can't actually.
It's the Patek logo.
It is a Patek logo.
I'm wearing an uber rare Rolex. It's a Milgauss from 1958.
When they were actually making them by hand.
No,
Was
they
it
never made things
industrial?
by
Was it
hand.
always industrial?
Always industrial.
What do you think about the new horlogerie independent watchmakers like
I like the
McGonigal
independent
Brothers and those kind of guys coming through? Thomas Pressure.
Les horlogers indépendants maintenant. There are some genius guys.
Yeah.
I think they struggle between technology and aesthetics. That's what I think they do. Because I don't really appreciate all of their aesthetics, but for sure I appreciate the genial approach to the solution of certain technology problems.
And finally, the people who seek you out, particularly they must be a really connoisseur to be able to know what they're buying when they're going for vintage. Who are these people? What kind of people have that kind of knowledge to be able to come and know if they're buying something that is totally...
There are, of course, there's a filter, which is me. And then you have your clients, but majority of my clients, well, at the end they're all friends, because you can ask him any question on any reference of any Patek Philippe, he'll tell you year, kind of dial. Il me demande sur la connaissance. C'est comme une drogue. It's like being a junkie. Once you start, you want to learn, you study the internet, the books, the auctions, the catalogs, and there are also very young people that are getting in. We have a 14-year-old collector in our. You should see him. I mean, he kicks a watchmaker's ass.
Wow. Okay.
Riccardo Affri, quando parla degli Universal. Sa tutto.
Do you see this as a growing trend that more and more people, especially like even now the growing economy, the emerging like Chinese, all looking for old authentic pieces as opposed to something new made by an old house? Would that be a growing trend, do you think? Looking for authenticity and history.
There's a big factor involved in any kind of collection. Watches, jewelry, even art, which is culture. And this is our added value. The knowledge of, the culture of luxury. Certain things have a value because they are beautiful, but beauty is also, subjective to interpretation. So if you don't have the expertise and the experience and the knowledge to recognize beauty, you'll just buy the most expensive wine and then drink it with ice and Coca-Cola. I've seen that in Shanghai. So potentially there is money. I've had some huge satisfaction with some new clients that I met them, they knew nothing, and today they have some kick-ass collections. But collections that they put in auctions, they cash in big money. It's about the culture of luxury. As of course, money is the instrument, but I've met a lot of people that with a lot of money that cannot be my clients.
But do you find some of your collectors, are they really into the buying and selling as an investment, or to collect, to really want to possess all these beautiful pieces?
Some trade in because, you always want to
renew your collection.
Because when it gets to watches, 100 million euros is not enough if you want to buy everything you like. So you buy a nice, according to your budget, according to your taste, but you cannot keep everything because your taste evolves, your experience evolves. So what for today to you is a wow watch, tomorrow is going to be, oh, remember when I liked those watches?
Like with art.
It's like with art. It's a continuous evolution, and added to that, it's quite a good investment because it is. I can show you some financial profiles on the watch market. And then it's toys for boys. Come on. They're you know, in the old days you would say, look at the guy's shoes. Today, by just looking at what watch you're wearing, I can figure out your story. Even if you're wearing a watch that you cannot afford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people.
Wow. That's great. Thank you so much.